how to make monkey bread. So monkey bread is for Javicino. You're going to make it for mock Javicino. So I'm going to make a small version of this, and then you'll be making larger versions depending on what your higher teacher directs you for the actual Javicino. So with monkey bread, this is in the bakery section. Because this is not a baking class, we're going to be using pre-made biscuits. We just ordered a small little container from the grocery store. However, you might get them frozen, so they might be a big, like, you know, box of them. So, but just know, just do it the same way I'm going to show you. Okay? So the first thing you're going to do, and again, I'm making a smaller amount. You're making a bulk batch. I melted a half stick of butter right into a custard cup just for 30 seconds. Make sure to watch it. And then in a separate bowl, I'm going to combine a half cup of white granulated sugar. All right. You're going to use 2 whole sticks of butter and then 2 cups of sugar, so it's a lot. And then the recipe, the original recipe calls for a half cup of cinnamon. I'm using 2 tablespoons, okay? And that is correct. It is a lot of cinnamon. Okay? Sometimes the students are like, that seems like an awful lot. And it is, but you want it nice and cinnamony. Okay? So we have our cinnamon sugar mixture ready to go. All right? So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to prep our biscuits. Okay? So to prep them, it's crazy sometimes when students use this, they've never opened these. So there is a little pull tab, and of course my gloves make it extra hard. So I'm just gonna take it off. All right, so just like so. And the original recipe calls for 4 cans of these, or essentially 24 biscuits. I'm using just 1, so I'm gonna use 8. Okay, just like so. So you've made monkey bread in Culinary Basics before, which is awesome that you had that practice. This recipe is a little bit more gourmet because we're going to be making a brown butter glaze to go on the top. Okay, so those are ready to go. I'm going to take a paring knife, okay, and I'm going to cut them in half this way and then in half again. So essentially you're quartering it. Okay, if it's not perfectly shaped, that's fine. You're gonna actually go through and round your portions. Okay, so I'm gonna keep doing this and we'll be right back. All right, we are back. So I took all my dough and I rounded my portions. So I just finished completing all that. It doesn't need to be perfect. You just want them pretty round, just so that they're gonna puff up, expand, rise. So that's perfect. All right. So now I have my butter, I have my cinnamon sugar, and then I am only making 6 of these. So these are the muffin liners. They're bakery style muffin liners. If you don't have these, you can use like the cupcake liners, like the shorter ones, but these look much nicer. You are going to be making either 24 to 48. So you'll be using the larger muffin pan. So you'll have a bunch of these ready to go that you'll then put on the sheet pan for baking for the following day. Okay. So how we're going to go about doing this is you're going to take your biscuit dough and then you are going to coat it in that cinnamon sugar mixture. So when you are dividing up tasks as a table, you want to make sure, you can do a couple of these at a time, you want to make sure that everyone has a role so that this is done like an assembly line. So you can definitely do a couple of these at a time. You don't want, I've seen students where it's like they dunk it in the butter mixture and then they go through and put so much cinnamon and sugar on. You should have plenty of this. You shouldn't have to get more, else you use too much. It's going to taste gross. So we're going to put 5 in each one. So like I said, they're going to rise. Okay. So I'm just going to put this right in there. So see how I'm putting the exact amount right into my butter, just like so, and then kind of toss them up. If you want to use bigger bowls, shallow hotel pans, whatever is going to work best for you and your group and be most efficient, we are totally good with that. Okay. You want to press these kind of into there, but not too hard because you want to give them room to rise. Okay. Okay. We will be right back. I'm going to finish this up and then show you how to do the glaze. All right, we are back. So here is the finished muffins ready to go in the oven. It's much easier, like I said, to put this on a sheet pan. So these are going to bake, they take about 10 to 12 minutes in a preheated oven. All right, so we're gonna get those going in a sec. Now I'm making my brown butter glaze. So essentially with brown butter glaze, what you're gonna do is you're gonna melt your butter. Your recipe calls for 2 sticks. Make sure it's butter and not margarine. Number 1, it's gonna add a lot more flavor. And number 2, if you're using margarine, it's not gonna brown, okay? Because in butter, they have real milk fat, and that's what is actually browning. So you're gonna start out by melting it, and then you're gonna let it cook for like 8 minutes, 10 minutes on a medium to low heat, and you're gonna let it turn brown. And that milk fat is what's going to brown, okay? So as that is heating up, I am going to combine in a little bowl. You're gonna combine 3 cups of powdered sugar, confectioner sugar. I'm only using 3/4 of a cup. Because remember, I'm making a smaller amount. You're making bulk to share with the class or for Giovacchino. You're gonna use a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm gonna use just a pinch. And then I'm using a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm only using a teaspoon. Or I'm using a teaspoon, you're using a tablespoon and a teaspoon. And then you're gonna use 3/4 cup of milk, or you can use heavy cream if you don't have milk. I'm using 3 tablespoons, okay? So now to this, I am going to use my wire whisk, and I am going to just kind of mix it together and try to break up some of those particles. All right. And I'm gonna let this keep browning, and we'll be right back. All right, so you can see the butter foamed, so that's the milk fat. And then I have my brown. You can let it cook a little bit more, but you want to avoid it burning. It's going to smell very caramel-like. And then what you're going to do is you'll turn off your heat. And this didn't take me as long, so you really got to watch it. So you are just going to pour that right into here. All right. And then you will have your brown butter glaze. Now, let me get the rest of that milk fat. There we go. That's good stuff, okay? You want that. Now what you're going to do is, if you make this on day 1, you're going to put this in a container and then just reheat it for day 2. Or you can, logistically, you could heat this up the day of. Just kind of do whatever, however your teacher directs you. All right. And then when, on the actual day, and I'll show you this, we're going to, this will be baked, and then we're going to pour this onto there. So we'll show you how to package it, all that good stuff. We'll be back. Alright, so our monkey bread is done. So it came right out of the oven looking like this, nice and beautiful, golden brown. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take our brown butter glaze, and you want to put a portion, about a tablespoon on each one. So what I usually do is I'll go through and put about a tablespoon on each one, and then if I have glaze left, I'll go through and then put another small portion right on the top. You should not have any of the glaze left over. It should completely cover that beautiful monkey bread. It's gonna be nice and sticky and ooey gooey. Okay, just like so. Okay. Then this is how we're gonna portion them. So sometimes they stick to the side of the pan, which is fine. You're just gonna use a little paring knife, and then they come right out like so. So here is the bottom base of your container. So you're either going to use these clear containers, or you'll use the Giovacchino box. Okay, just like so. So I can show you. Again, this is going to have to be done like an assembly line. So you'll work with others the morning of the event or the day we do the mock Giovacchino. Just like so. So you can kind of see I'm setting them all in there. And then I will go through and close them quickly. So, see how nice and easy that is? Okay. Now they might fog up a little bit, and that's fine. The reason being is that they're warm. You're going to keep these warm in the insulated carrier during Giovacchino. Okay. Just because it keeps that glaze nice and warm and ooey gooey. Okay. Just like so. I'm going to take my gloves off because it's really hard to get stickers. We're going to put a little thank you sticker right on the center, just like so. It might be a bigger sticker, it might have flowers, it will match your theme of Giovacchino. And then you'll put these in a hotel pan, a nice large hotel pan, to slide them in and out of that insulated carrier. Enjoy!